Good afternoon, Oxygen Life Church and friends, whoever may be listening to this. My name is Jeremy King. I am a filmmaker by profession, but I am also a deacon at Oxygen Life Church. And today it is my awesome privilege of sharing my testimony with you of how Jesus Christ has broken into my heart, how he has brought me into freedom, how he has brought me into joy, how he has brought me into hope. And so here we go. So I was born into a home that didn't serve Jesus. My parents gave their lives to the Lord when I was about 4 years old. So you could say for the most part of my childhood, I was in a Christian home. But I definitely saw, even at a young age, I saw that my parents' lives were changing. My mom battled with depression, and now she was finding hope. My dad's character was being transformed. And so I saw that this Jesus character, who they put their trust in, was changing them. And I didn't really understand that. But I remember being informed by an experience at quite a young age that really changed the way I saw God, and not for the good. And it was just the enemy's lies to come in and change that. I remember I used to collect these little tokens that were of a popular TV show at the time. And basically you would get them in your Simba chips or whatever. And I remember the one day my mom coming and saying, "Hey Jem, I actually think we should throw these tokens away because I don't think they're honoring to the Lord. They have these pictures of demons on and powers, and I don't think that's honoring to God. Can we throw them away?" And I remember being so resentful towards God for taking away my tokens that I worked so hard to collect. And that really, over years, had shaped the way I saw God. But years passed, and I saw that my parents were really walking in this joy, in this freedom, in this relationship with Jesus. I saw them surrounded by a group of believers who loved them and who cared for them. And so I wanted that. I was like, man, that looks amazing. I want that. I don't have that in my life. So at the age of about 11, I gave my life to Jesus. I got baptized at my parents' fellowship or community group. And I remember from that day, I remember feeling such a sense of conviction of my sin. I felt when I would lie to my parents, when I would pursue my own flesh, I remember feeling such a conviction at a very young age, such a grievance in my heart. But I always thought, no, this God is a God that steals fun. So one day when I'm old, I'll settle down, like my parents, they're old. So I'll settle down when I'm old, and I'll get serious when I'm old. And that really did shape the way I thought. And so I ended up living for myself from about the age of 11. No, I didn't say 11. Maybe from the age of about 13. I got involved in a group of friends that really just loved thrills, loved adventure, but we were just living for thrills, for adventure. And it actually manifested itself in a lot of rebellion. We became very rebellious. And so, we were just living for thrills and rebellion, and that's what we were doing. And so from about the age of 13 to 16, I was just living that life. But I was feeling convicted, but I was choosing my own desires. From about the age of 16, I remember getting more involved in the local youth group at my parents' church. I remember there were one or two leaders that really took me under their wing and showed me what it meant to have a relationship with Jesus Christ, and not just confess him with your lips, but actually to live it out, And so, I walked that journey, and it wasn't a quick journey, but I remember, just being refined, being convicted of my sin, feeling how my sin was grieving God, and how when I partnered with His Spirit and who He was, and where He was leading me, how I would find freedom, how I would find joy, how I would find life. And when I chose the things I desired, I would find death, I would find destruction, I would find loneliness, I would find all those things. And so, it started a journey of being sanctified. But I still, in my heart, had a bit of a measure of one day I'll settle down when I'm old, because I still want fun. And I didn't have a good understanding of what that all meant. So I remember, when I was in matric, it was the 12th of March, 2014. We were going surfing before school, and I got T-boned by a taxi. And I ended up rolling a vehicle a couple times. And I remember as the car hit me, I put my head on the steering wheel, and I just screamed, Jesus. I just went, Jesus. And I remember in that moment I felt like God was holding me in his hand. I felt the warm embrace of the Father. I felt peace in the midst of chaos and loudness and all this danger. I felt such a sense of peace. I almost felt as if God was welcoming me. I felt like the cry of my heart at the depth of who I was Jesus Christ. And in that moment, I knew that there was no other name that would save but Jesus. And what that experience did for me was it really just solidified my faith in who he is, in his faithfulness, in his pursuit over us. I knew he was with me. I knew he loved me. I knew he embraced me. And ever since that day, I've yearned for him. I've longed for him. And as I have walked towards Jesus, my life has, I found faith, I found hope, I found freedom, I have found joy. I have been added to a family of believers that has shown me love like I could have never imagined. I was actually really lonely when I was living for myself. And I have found such a sense of family in the bride of Christ. I have found such a sense of joy, such a sense of love in the person of Jesus. And so I'd want to encourage you today, don't wait till you're old and you're ready to settle down, or don't wait till the opportune time to give your life to Jesus. We never know when our time is up. The word says our life is like the morning mist, here and then gone. And so, I'd want to encourage you to come to bow the knee to him, to give your life to him. He is a good, good Father, and he is mighty to save. And he can take the most rebellious heart and soften it. So, bless you guys. Love you all, and cannot wait to be with you in person. So, love you all.